Whoa, 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 guys! Believe it or not, the latest Nintendo Direct was way better than you may think. Let me prove it on today's episode of Mood News. So I've been hearing people say that this was a bad Direct. No, excuse me? Did you not see what I saw? Their motion graphics vastly improved! So, first off, we should specify that this wasn't a traditional Nintendo Direct, right? This is a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, which basically means no main big old Nintendo games, mainly just more so the third-party stuff and new games coming to Switch, but not necessarily the big hard hitters like Mario and Zelda and that sort of stuff. More so the smaller B-list games, if you will. But even still, we got a plethora of games from small to big that I 100% would recommend to you. So I'm just going to go through a few of my favorite games from this Direct and prove to you why this Direct was really, really good. But of course, if you were disappointed by this, I want to remind you that this was a partner showcase. This was not a traditional Direct. And so by me being so excited about it and stuff, it's really because I have very low expectations of what to expect. And what we got out of it was really, really strong. So let's get through it. So first off, I want to talk about Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. This is a brand new Monkey Ball game exclusive to Switch. And my favorite thing about this is not only the 16-player multiplayer, which looks very, very fun, not only the brand new levels and not just getting another remake of Monkey Ball, but the new characters and the new character designs. I'm a little bit conflicted on them, but they sort of feel like the Mario... Oh my god, I think I just got glass in my hand. Hold on. Is it out? Maybe. No, it's not out. I see it. Let me get this real quick. Sorry about that. I don't know why I had glass in my hand. Actually, I do. My phone cracked a couple days ago walking to the gym. I dropped it. I had a case on. Yeah, it shattered the back. And I guess a little bit got on me. That sucks. Anywho, I'm fine. Don't worry. It was like a tiny piece. Maybe that's worse. Maybe it's worse to have a tiny piece. A bit scary. Regardless, let's get back to it. So what was I saying? Yeah, Monkey Ball. There's some new redesigns for all the characters. And I want to say that they, like, you might think, oh, they sort of babied them up or made them look not as cool as they usually are. Honestly, they feel more in line to how Mario Wonder's art style was, where it sort of just made them feel a bit more brighter. Oh, excuse me, a bit more brighter and like excited and exuberant versus they kidified it. And that was like my initial feeling towards it, but the more I look at these designs and especially the new character, I can't remember what her name is. What's her name? Palette, that's her name. Palette is such a cute design. I really think the art style for this game goes phenomenal, and I'm so excited to experience this new Monkey Ball game. I think it comes out this summer, so that's exciting. Thumbs up from that. Next, we have World of Goo 2, which is a weird and surprising and almost, I don't know, back of the brain type game. I don't know if I'm exactly getting my point across, but the company that made World of Goo and Little Inferno and all those sort of games, they feel like, I don't know, not necessarily my childhood, but just like they've always been there in my life somehow when it comes to games. I've always seen them, and to have like a resurgence of it, it's like a weird nostalgia. I wouldn't say it's traditional nostalgia. It's more of like a parent coming home from a war. I actually never played the original World of Goo. I played Little Inferno a lot, but never World of Goo. I always wanted to, so it is very exciting to know that we're getting World of Goo 2 on Switch. And with the Switch version, there's 4-player local multiplayer, which is exclusive to that. So really excited for that. Hopefully the gyro will be good enough with the point controls if they do that. Otherwise, that's a shame. Anyways, moving on, we have Fantasy Life I something. The girl who stole time, or the girl who likes time, the girl who is time. Maybe she is time itself, and we'll get the girl who is space, or the boy who is space next. Regardless, Fantasy Life I is a sequel to a game on 3DS. I never got around to playing it, but my friends Ivan and Darren and Marley, they all love this game to bits. They've told me that it's phenomenal, and I trust their word for that. And so if this game sucks, I'm blaming those three. If not, congratulations. So I think that, like, I've heard it's a little bit like Animal Crossing, but it's more so an RPG with life simulation, there's some name for that. I think they're called Life Sims. Oh, Life Sims, that's what they're called, not Life Simmels. Life Sims. It's like a, a traditional RPG with a little bit of Life Sim trickled in there a little bit. But it seems very, very exciting. Again, never played the original, but to have, like, the 3DS games sort of, which were, lost to time, lack of a better word. It's just so cool to have a resurgence of 3DS games coming to Switch. Better late than never. And yeah, speaking of other games lost to the 3DS, we have Pocket Card Jockey. This is a sequel to the 3DS game, which is apparently critically acclaimed by exclusively everyone who's played the game. They say that it's like the best game by Game Freak for Pokemon Team. They say it's the best game Game Freak has put out, and you wouldn't really expect it by looking at the cover and seeing what it is. I just downloaded this. I haven't got a chance to play it yet. I'm going to play it as soon as I'm uploading this video, and maybe I'll put on my community tab what I think of it. But right now, I'm just excited to try it after so many people saying how good it is, so we'll see how that goes. And next, we have another Crab's Treasure, which I am so excited to play. I've been like following this game since it was announced, I think. I've been, a fan of Aggro Crab for a while. This is a Souls-like experience where you play as a crustacean using ocean waste as armor. So you can't really get a game better or more sad than that. The art style, the sadness of it based on reality. If I was going to make a game, or if I wished to be someone who could make games, this would be something where I'd be like, damn, I wish I came up with that. I wish I came up with this idea. It just hits all the right boxes. It teaches people about a very serious issue without being like very forcible with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's bringing, ocean awareness for me is really close to home. Like that's one thing which has always been close to me for my entire life, caring about the ocean wildlife and stuff. So to have a game do it, but not in a sort of obvious way, to have it be a bit more tongue-in-cheek, but also just be a really fun-looking game and have a lot of character and charm, is really, really refreshing, and I cannot wait to play this. And speaking of games I cannot wait to play, and maybe I should play ASAP, Penny's Big Breakaway. This is a 3D platformer made by the Sonic Mania team. So they didn't forget making Sonic Mania 2. I guess after Sega were like, nope, no, we're not doing that. They were like, all right, you know what? Screw it. Let's make a really fun looking 3D platformer, sort of similar to Super Mario 3D World, it seems. This game is out now, apparently, which I wasn't expecting. I didn't know this game came out already. And it looks so much fun. I really want to try it. Obviously, I just bought Pocket Card Jockey, so I'm in no rush to buy another game to play until I've played that for a little bit. So yeah, it looks really fun. It's $30. Might be worth checking out. Seeing how well this team handled Sonic in terms of momentum and stuff, them tackling that in a 3D setting where it's sort of, there's a little bit of speed running and a little bit of just like, going with the flow. And especially with me playing and getting excited for Roland Rascal, this game seems like another one of those, okay, I'm gonna love this. So definitely check it out if it seems at all interesting to you. Next up, we have Watermelon Game, or Suika Game. It got paid DLC recently, which adds local multiplayer, and in the future will add online multiplayer. I'm gonna be honest, this game is fun to play. It is like baby food in terms of for my brain. I don't think all of our brains playing it, and I think we're all aware of that, but there is something so satisfying about this weird little puzzle game. It's so simple. It's got one track of music, but you cannot deny the brain chemicals go ooh when you play this game. If you ever play Watermelon Game, what are you doing? Give it a try. Onto something that makes your brain go ooh and seems a lot more involved, Pepper Grinder. This was a game which I didn't know anything about until today. I think it's being published by Devolver Digital, which is the same guys who've done that lamb game, what is it called, where you're the evil lamb, Cult of the Lamb. How did I forget that? It's by the same publishers by that, and they've got a really good track record of just really over the top quality games. So I feel like Devolver Digital is sort of like the A24 of video games. Does that make sense? I think it does, at least in my eyes. And Pepper Grinder looks like such a fun 2D platformer. It sort of gives me the same energy as that drill. Is it called Drill Dozer? The drilling game by Game Freak. I haven't even played that game, but that was the first thing that came to mind when I saw Pepper Grinder. This looks so much fun. They have a demo out now. I'm definitely going to play the demo tonight, and you probably should too, because this game looks very, very fun. I'm moving on to maybe the biggest announcement, Endless Ocean 3. This game looks so incredible. I never got a chance to play Endless Ocean 1 and 2 on the Wii. Looking back, I am gutted that I never got the chance. These games feel like the perfect sort of experience of relaxing, but also discovery, and it just feels like such a good, cozy game without it being an Animal Crossing clone. You know what I mean? It is a scuba diving game is something which I want in my life, and I'm very unfortunate that I never got that with Endless Ocean. But man, yeah, I was listening to the soundtrack of the first one just the other day, unintentional to knowing that this game would be revealed today. And yeah, the vibes are immaculate. They're adding dinosaur type sea creatures for this one, and like brand new sort of magical designed creatures from Nintendo. It's got multiplayer. It's ticking all the boxes. It's gonna be so much fun, and yeah, I'm very excited for this game more than anything. Another announcement which we did have was new Nintendo Switch Online games, mainly a few from Rare, being, I can't even remember what they're bloody called, and I can't really be bothered to look them up. That's how uninterested I am in any of those games. If they brought Diddy Kong Racing or Donkey Kong 64, then yes, I would be very, very over the moon and very excited. But with these, it's sort of like, I don't know, I never had really any interest in playing these games in the first place. Hearing them for the first time, or you know, like, oh, I've sort of heard of that, maybe. It just feels very, not bottom of a barrel-y, because again, I haven't played these games. I'm sure they're quite good experiences, but they're just not doing anything for me to push me or motivate me to play. But if they do for you, that's great. And regardless of my opinion on these, they are adding so much value to Nintendo Switch Online and the expansion pack. Like, these are both initially were scoffed at for being, you know, way overpriced for what they were. But honestly, now I don't think that's the case. I think these are quite reasonably priced for what you're getting. And it might be worth it looking at the library now and thinking, maybe this is worth picking up to play, you know, NSO, like, you know, N64 and Game Boy Advance and all these extra games now. Because really, it's looking promising. All we need really is for Pokemon games on Nintendo Switch Online, and we are sorted. That'll be it. Now, actually, there was one more announcement exclusive to the Japanese Nintendo Direct for Mother 3. Now, of course, people are rather pissed. Why isn't this on in the US or the EU? Why is it only in Japan? I wonder. Over Mother 3 controversy and it not coming to the States ever and all that jargon. I truly think that this game will eventually come to the States. It's just a matter of time. I'm sure in the next 50 years, we'll have it. We'll have it in the States. It's just a case of when. So I wouldn't get too down about it. Of course, it would have been amazing to have it, but I really think if they do bring it to the West, they're gonna have to make a lot of changes, and they'll probably do like a remake of it. And I think before that, they do a remake of Earthbound first. So I don't know. I believe it will come eventually for us to play and experience in our native language, but for now, they're just bringing it to the Japanese audience. And to be fair, the Japanese audience, there's no controversy about these games over there, as far as I'm aware. They're just games which came out for this is just a game that came out for the GBA, which everyone cherished and loved, and they're bringing it back for Nintendo Switch Online. It's like, yay, woo! But, you know, I don't think they don't have the same situation as us in the West, where we're like, damn! They get the game and we don't? Why don't we have the game already? This sucks! But, you know, it is what it is. If you want to play it, I guess you can by downloading the Japanese, the GBA. But really, that is the only way of playing it legitimately on Switch. For now, at least. But, you know, fingers crossed in the future. And yeah, like, looking at that lineup, I didn't even mention every single game. But just from that, what a great Direct, in my opinion. Like, again, for a partner showcase, the amount here is phenomenal. I'm so, like, all of these games I can see myself playing, and we are at such a privileged position right now with having so many games to play that, you know, we didn't even necessarily need a Nintendo Direct. I was thinking before this Direct even went live or even had an announcement beforehand, I was thinking, people talking about getting a Direct for February, we don't need one. We really don't. Like, there's so many games to come out in the future and games in our backlogs. We should really stop, like, emphasizing and needing more and more and more, because so many devs, I feel, pressured under companies, and those companies are pressured under us. You know, it's like, you know, whatever is throwing their money their way. Unfortunately, that's the system we're in, where money controls all. It's kind of sucks, really, doesn't it? But really, it's a case of, I think we should look back at the past 5 years of games and pick up and try games which we never really got a chance to play. And really, this Direct, if anything, introduced that a lot with bringing back some games or bringing back awareness to games which are already existing. Even if it is a thing like the DLC of Suika Game, or Pocket Card Jockey, or Fantasy Life, or even Monster Hunter Stories 1 coming. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Like, it's a case of bringing back games which previously were unobtainable or just not comfortable for the user to experience. That is the way forward. And you know, some people complain, oh, there's no new games, or there's not that many new games, even though we had a bunch of brand new games announced here and showcased here. Really, like, come on, why are we complaining about remakes and stuff? Because most of us haven't played these yet. They're great games. If you haven't played them, you should play them. And, you know, we don't need to pressure the devs more to just turn out something new every time. And I don't know, maybe this is getting a bit, like, more bigger than just talking about the Nintendo Direct, and it's more so a case of the video game industry as a whole being, like, under such a pressure to bring new. And it is, like, you know, it's one of the biggest industries in the world. If it always is going to be something new. But at the same time, I think we should really look back at the history of video games which have come out, both new and old, and really cherish the ones which have came before. Because it's not like if a game has been out for a week, no one's talking about it or playing it anymore. Look at Mario vs. Donkey Kong. That game came out in, you know, 2004, got remade now, but is anyone going to be talking about it in a month? Not as much as they are right now. It's probably dipping right now, but that game is phenomenal, and it should be a case of, you know, it doesn't matter what time of year it is, or since how long since the game released, it should still, you know, be in the zeitgeist. And I think that should be the case with pretty much every game, you know? Like, we should be talking about games old and new and keep that conversation alive versus just focusing on what's new and pressuring devs. And sorry if I'm rambling too much, but basically, long story short, new games are fun, new games are great, but I do think that as a whole, gamers and video game enjoyers focus a bit too much on, like, new, and not really focusing on the treasure trove and the museum of games which have come before. And, you know, like, I just get really excited when I see games which are pre-existing be re-released for new people to experience, because I'm going to be one of those people, and I'm just so excited to try some of these. So those are my thoughts on the Direct, and I guess the video game industry as a whole. Sorry, went a bit crazy here, but if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, any feelings, let me know down below, and be sure to subscribe to GetMadz for more news about Nintendo, more just fun rambles like this, and yeah, more. Just be prepared for more. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later, and take care, brush your hair.